What's up? Coach Eric, boxing coach at Guardian Gym, Oakland, California. Here to show you some of the intro to boxing techniques. If you've never boxed before, if you've just wondered, what goes into that, you're gonna find out today. It's gonna be fun. We're just gonna, try our best. And, at the end of the day, this is where we all have to start. Whether you become a boxer, whether you just want to try it and try something new, we all start with these techniques right here. All right, let's get started. We're just gonna move our bodies like we were jumping rope. So a lot of what we're doing today, we're envisioning in our mind that we have the equipment or that we're doing a task. The first thing we're gonna do to get warm and get our heart rate up is jump rope, okay? I don't have a jump rope, so I'm just gonna pretend like I do. I'm gonna hold each handle like I have them in my hands, and I'm gonna time it with a small hop like this. Start off with just a tiny hop, and imagine there's a rope going underneath my feet. Eventually, I'll time it where I'm gonna go one step side to side, and I'm gonna pretend and visualize like I'm jumping rope. This is important in boxing, so we're nice and relaxed, we're loose, and we have the rhythm that we're gonna do later in our stance work and some of the techniques I'm gonna show you. Really important to breathe and stay loose. One great thing about, just kind of pretending that I'm jumping rope, I don't actually have the rope, I can shake it out, make sure my shoulders, my neck are nice and relaxed, and really stay loose, letting my body move and get warm. I go back to the jump rope simulation, going side to side. Good. Now typically we do this for 3 minutes, is a round in boxing, and we take 60-second breaks. Do it for as long as you can do. If it's only a short while, that's fine. You have to start somewhere. Woo! Nice and loose. All right, let's keep it going. We're gonna go into where everything starts in boxing, our stance, okay? So the way I was taught and the way I like to do it is your dominant hand, the hand that you write with a pen or pencil with, that's gonna be your rear hand. Your front hand is gonna be your less dominant hand, the hand you do not write with a pen or pencil with. If you feel more comfortable and you wanna just do it the opposite way, that's okay. I'm gonna leave that up to you. So I'm right-handed, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm just gonna stand naturally, facing forward. I'm gonna extend my arms. I'm gonna let my elbows fall in naturally, and I'm gonna take a step back with my right foot since I'm right-handed. What this looks like from this angle, I have a rear foot, I have a rear hand. I now have a front foot, and I have a front hand. This is our fighting stance. I have a slight knee bend, my head is over center, I'm breathing, I'm relaxed, and I'm gonna just do that kind of rhythmic bouncing that we were doing earlier when we were visualizing our jump rope. When I'm facing forward, you can see my body is sideways. I'm not squared off. My hips and shoulders are facing, they're squared off to the side. So I always have a rear foot, rear hand, front foot. I'm just gonna bounce similar to like when we were getting warm and loose. My feet stay front and rear. My hands, elbows tucked, are up off my body. My chin's tucked, I'm looking forward. This is our stance. You are doing great. Now that you have the stance, let's do the punches that are the introductory punches in boxing from your stance work. Okay, so right back to our stance, staying relaxed, staying loose. My front hand, that's gonna be your front punch or first punch. It's called the jab. All I'm gonna do is extend my front hand all the way out, just like this. And then I'm gonna bring it back in to where it was before. Now, what I'm really kind of concentrating on when I do this is taking my time on the technique of, this is boxing technique. You're going to have your elbow come up and over, and you're gonna twist your fist, extending your arm all the way out. and then you're gonna bring it back the same path it traveled to where your elbow is right back to where it was. It's okay at first if you bring it back too far, but eventually you'll get it to where you'll just bring it back about halfway. Full extension, back to half. Full extension, back to half. Start slow so you know you're doing it right, and then as you progress, you can do it as fast as you like. Timing my breathing just like before on the extension of this punch. I'm clenching my fist as tight as I can. Taking my time, especially if you start to get tired and you feel, ooh, it's sore in your shoulder or your hands. Slow down. Shake it off. And try again. Taking my time. And now we're going to time it with the bounce of my stance. Pushing forward, pushing forward, pushing forward every time that I step with the jab. Make sure you're still bouncing, staying loose, extending your arm. That's the jab. The next punch we're gonna cover. Great jabs, guys. Let's do the next punch, our rear hand. This is called the cross. The reason they call it the cross is because my body is going to cross. It's going to travel. And it's my power hand or dominant hand, my stronger of the two hands. That's why we save that for the cross. Same as the jab, I'm going to extend my arm all the way out, and it will come all the way back, elbow in position. Coming forward, all the way out, all the way back, all the way out, all the way back, out, back, out, back. And just like before, take your time, make sure you're doing it the right way, squeezing your fist, extending your arm all the way out, bringing this one all the way back into your stance. Let's put them together. Jab, cross, reset. Jab, cross, reset. Squeezing my fist, breathing, staying loose and relaxed all the while. Jab, cross, reset. Jab, cross, reset. You're doing great. 1, 2. Sometimes coaches, to make it faster and simpler, we use numbers. Like 1 is a jab, number 2 is the cross. So I can say jab, cross, or 1, 2. That's the same thing. So have some fun. Bounce around in your stance. You have both of the intro punches in boxing, your straight shots or punches, the 1, 2, or jab, cross. You're doing great. Keep it up. Woo! Oh man, awesome stuff so far. We have our straight punches, we have our stance. Now we're gonna do something to prepare for our next techniques. Just like we had our stance to prepare us for our jabs and crosses, we're gonna do a squat or squats to get ready for our next techniques, which are gonna be hooks and uppercuts. All right, so I know it sounds really cool and maybe scary, but it's really not that bad. It's a lot of fun actually. So squats, for the most part, you're just bending your knees. You're imagining you're sitting into an invisible chair, and then you're just gonna stand back up. All right, so I spread my feet maybe a little bit more than my shoulders, like this, to where if my hands hit my thighs, that's about right. I'm gonna touch my ears like this, and then I'm gonna imagine like I'm sitting down into an invisible chair, and I'm gonna come back up. I'm gonna go down and up, down and up. We're gonna do this for maybe about a minute. That way, we don't overdo it to where we hurt our legs. And if you can only do maybe, 5 of these or 3 of these, that's not a problem either. We all have to start from somewhere. And we're just gonna do our best and have some fun for our next techniques. All right, the squats, awesome job. Now, we're gonna do lunges. Lunges, exactly like they sound, so cool, right? We're just gonna step forward and step back. Not as cool as it sounds, but we're gonna make it cool. It's gonna be fun. So, standing naturally, feet together, hips are square, shoulders are square, hands are up. You can either touch your face or have them by your face. I'm just gonna take a step forward, back is straight, knees are bent, and then I'm going to push back up with the same foot, back to where I'm standing. Again, this one's a little bit tougher than the squat because there's a lot of balance involved. If you have trouble with your balance, then work up to it, try your best. Maybe ask a friend or a parent or a guardian to help you as you're doing this so you don't get hurt. But for the most part, you can do this. It's not too bad, okay? You can work up to it. I'm gonna do this with each foot. I'm gonna switch or alternate. Same thing like I just stepped forward with one foot, do it with the other foot, step right back up. All I'm doing is stepping forward, coming back to where I started. Stepping forward, stepping back to where I started. Give it a shot. Awesome job. Now, we're gonna use those squats and lunges for the next techniques, just like we did the jump rope and stance work to set up our jabs and crosses. Our squats mixed with lunges with our stance is what's gonna create the hook and the uppercut. Cool, right? Now, we're back to our stance. I'm going to turn like I was doing a lunge and a squat together, and I'm going to throw a hook with my front arm or hand and reset. So all I'm doing, my arm naturally is in kind of a hook position. This is when it'd be straight. This is a straight position from a jab. When it's naturally in a hook, I'm going to use that by turning my body into a squat and a lunge, and then I'm going to turn back with a hook. My hand is almost like if I'm shaking someone's hand, thumbs up, wrist, elbow are in a straight line, elbow in line with my shoulder, and then let the elbow fall back into place into our stance. Turn in, turn back with a hooking motion with our squat and lunge, hook with the arm, put it together, that's our hook. I turn in, hook. I turn in, hook. Just like that. Heavy hooks, awesome job. Now we're gonna go into those uppercuts. What do you think an uppercut is? An uppercut, okay? We're gonna go up. I'm gonna bend down and push up with my rear arm or rear hand, almost like I'm flexing, I'm making a muscle, and then I'm gonna let my arm come back like before. So instead of the straight punch, hooking position just like the front hook, except now I'm gonna bend, just like a squat, push up with my hook, reset. I'm just gonna go to my stance, bend, uppercut, reset. I'm going to bend, push up with my uppercut, down, up, just like that. Down, up, just like that. In my stance, down, up, just like that. That's an uppercut. So similar to the hooks and uppercuts, we have our slips and rolls. These are for defense. So if you ever hear a coach say, hey, work on your defense, use your defense, this is what they're talking about. Offense, where our punches, our jabs, cross, hook, and uppercut, now we're gonna work defense. Just as important, if not more important than your offense. In my fighting stance, I'm gonna imagine, just like when we had our jump rope and we're shadow boxing, we're going to slip a punch. I'm gonna move my head, so if someone threw a punch or a jab at me, I'm gonna slip out of the way. Pretty similar to it, if I was throwing a jab, I'm gonna slip, jab, slip, jab. Pretty similar motions. The cross, or slipping across, I'm gonna slip in. I'm going to slip, cross, slip, cross. So all I'm gonna do is move my body essentially side to side, moving my head so I don't get punched. In boxing, where it's a contest where we're punching each other, don't punch people, but that's what boxing is. Slip, slip, okay? And you can have fun with this sometimes with a friend if you're going slow and you just kind of slip side to side, just like you do your techniques. We'll work up to that though. Slip, 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 slip. Simple as that. Slip, slip, slippity-doo. Now, let's roll, roll. Let's roll. We're gonna do some rolls. All right, so I'm just gonna roll my body just like the offense to set up my hook, to reset. Simple as that. That's a roll. If a coach says, hey, roll in, he's talking about rolling your body in with your rear shoulder. He says, roll out. Take your rear shoulder, roll back. My body is bending, just like a squat and lunge together. I'm gonna roll in and roll out. Roll in, roll out. Roll in, roll out. Roll in, roll out. Those are your rolls. Booyakasha! Awesome job. Now, all these techniques, you did your first boxing lesson. Awesome job. You can do this anytime you want. You don't have to wait for Coach Eric, because I'm not always gonna be there. I wish I could be, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this your own. Boxing, even though you have coaches and people that help you, just like in life, this is something you do on your own at the end of the day. Have some fun, take all those techniques that I showed you today and make them your own. I'm gonna do a round myself. Awesome job. That's it. Your first boxing class. How easy was that? But hopefully you had some fun. I had a blast. This is what I do. I'm Coach Eric. I'm at Guardian Gym. We're in West Oakland, California. Our website is guardiangym.org. We're a nonprofit gym. We have boxing, jiu-jitsu for kids 5 through 18. It's free. We're nonprofit. And then the adults that are over 18, that's what funds the gym. Their memberships goes directly into keeping it free and a safe place to whether box or even just hang out. That's very important. So hopefully I'll see you there. I'll be there. And yeah, we'll continue boxing then. Have a great day.